turn this music down, and we should be good. Should be live, guys. We got a huge slate tonight. 12 gamer. It's been a big news day. There's been a lot that's come out. There's still some stuff that we are waiting on, but we do have most of the news already. Some of the big ones that we got right before I hopped on the stream. Jimmy Butler ruled out for Miami, so we'll talk about how Miami changes with Jimmy Butler out. We did get word that LeBron is playing, so really good matchup against Houston. But I think now that LeBron's playing, LeBron's probably the only guy I'm that interested in from the Lakers. And then we're still waiting on some news from Houston, which I think is actually pretty important. KJ Martin, or not KJ Martin, but I think KJ Martin could be a viable cheap option tonight if Christian Wood and or Jae'Sean Tate are out. Jae'Sean Tate, Christian Wood, both questionable. Neither one went through shoot-around, so I'm kind of leaning towards them being out. And if Christian Wood gets ruled out, we saw Şengün start last game, played around 30 minutes. I would like Şengün a lot if Christian Wood sits again in a much better matchup against the Lakers. And I think KJ Martin would be in line for pretty good minutes as well if Christian Wood is out or if Jae'Sean Tate's out. Regardless, I think KJ Martin plays a decent amount here, and he's only 4K. He's a pretty good point-per-minute player. Definitely going to be some guys worth targeting from Houston if Wood and or Tate sit. And right now, given they both didn't go through shoot-around, I really think neither one plays. But I think news-wise, that's really all that we're kind of waiting on. Sabonis got suspended, so we'll kind of talk about how that changes some things. Definitely changes my interest in Sacramento. And yeah, Jimmy Butler's out. We're still waiting for Vooch news. Hopefully we'll get that sometime soon, given that game starts in an hour. We might get that news during the stream. Anthony Simons is out again. Obviously Brandon Williams is someone we could consider, but his price did go up a good amount. VanVleet expect to play. I think Russell and Edwards are probably going to play as well. And yeah, that's probably it. That's most of the news that we're keeping an eye on. So if you guys, if you have questions tonight, you can start throwing those in chat. We'll be live till about 6:30, 20-25 minutes, trying to answer your questions, talk through the slate, and hopefully, we can all win some money tonight. Sabonis suspended, so you like Damian Jones, Lin, or Trey Lyles for value? It's going to depend on the starting lineup, Nicholas, but my best guess is that Damian Jones will start in place of Sabonis. And Damian Jones is really cheap. Obviously, the matchup against Jokic is really scary. Man, I think Damian Jones is going to play at least like mid-20s, maybe high 20s minutes, and he's only 3,400. As long as he stays out of foul trouble, I think the minutes will be there. So 3,400, I like Damian Jones a lot if he's starting. I would think it's going to be him. I doubt they would start Alex Lin. Alex Lin hasn't even been in the rotation. And then Trey Lyles, I think Trey Lyles is kind of like a 4. I don't know if they want to play Trey Lyles at the 5. So expecting Damian Jones to start for Sabonis, and I think Damian Jones is a pretty good value. Any more value coming out because it's hard to find any of the top studs? I mean, we kind of talked about Damian Jones with Sabonis suspended. I like Damian Jones quite a bit. Depending on what happens with Houston, if Christian Wood and or Jae'Sean Tate are out, that will definitely give us some value with Şengün, with KJ Martin. But it's a 12-game slate. There's plenty of cheap options today. Appreciate Noah. Helped me learn so much about DFS. Only been doing this a few weeks now. Hey, my man. I love to hear that. Love to hear that. Hopefully the streams, my videos. I know it's kind of like me giving my favorite plays and all that stuff, but hopefully, listen to me talk about the games, talk about, DFS in general. Hopefully it does help. I'm glad to hear that, man. Porter Jr. or Emmanuel Quickley? I would definitely prefer Kevin Porter Jr. Who are the 2 best Heat players with Jimmy ruled out? I mean, I don't love a ton from Miami tonight because the matchup against Phoenix is pretty tough. And the pricing on Miami, it's not like you're getting these guys at great price points because, Bam's 8,500, Tyler Hero's over 7K, Lowry's 7K. But I definitely think, Bam, Hero, Lowry all get a little boost. I would say Bam is my favorite play from Miami if I had to play anyone here. But I'm not like slamming these Miami guys into my lineup. I think they all get a little boost without Jimmy, but it's not like it's not like Lowry is 6K and Hero is 6K. I mean, you're kind of paying the right price for these guys. So Bam's my favorite Miami guy. I'm not super high on anyone else though. I think Hero and Lowry are fine. That's probably it. Bam or Cat, assuming D'Lo or Ant might play. I mean, I'll probably just take Cat straight up regardless. Especially because it's a way better matchup against OKC for Cat. So even if D'Lo and Ant play, I would probably take Cat straight up over Bam if you have the salary to get him. DeRozan or SGA? Give me SGA. Yahoo favorite small forward? Oh god, man, small forward is really bad on Yahoo tonight. I mean, if you can pay up for like LeBron or Jason Tatum, you could do that. But I would say like I mean, I think with Sabonis out, like Harrison Barnes actually kind of looks appealing. I don't really ever play Harrison Barnes, but I think without Sabonis, he should get pretty good usage and have a pretty good role. So I don't hate Harrison Barnes. I was on Marcus Morris yesterday. I played him on Yahoo yesterday, and he was terrible. He's been god-awful the last few slates, but he's really cheap, and you would think he plays around 30 minutes if it's a close game. So maybe Marcus Morris. Yeah, small forward really sucks on Yahoo, I'll be honest. It's bad. I would say, like, if you can get up to LeBron or Tatum, I'd go with one of those guys. If not, maybe like Harrison Barnes, RJ Barrett, one of those guys in the mid-range. LaMelo Ball, CJ McCollum, or De'Aaron Fox. I would probably go CJ McCollum there. I think without Brandon Ingram, with Ingram out again, we saw what Ingram did, or what McCollum did yesterday without Brandon Ingram. Pretty good matchup here against Orlando. I mean, CJ McCollum, if this game stays close, is going to play big minutes. He played only 31 minutes yesterday, but it was a blowout, and he still put up almost 60 DraftKings points in a blowout. I mean, CJ McCollum's role without Brandon Ingram is just going to be so good, so I definitely like CJ McCollum a lot. I think, De'Aaron Fox gets a boost as well without Sabonis, but I would probably prefer McCollum. Murray, Young, or Tatum? Give me Jason Tatum there. So, Noah, how are you doing today? Let's get it. I'm doing well, Patrick. I'm doing well, and I hope you are too. Let's get it, though. Let's get it. Hopefully we can all win some money tonight. We need it badly. I need it badly. I've been in a bad run. Bam or Levine? I would probably go Bam. Favorite DK values? I mean, Damian Jones with Sabonis suspended, I like a lot for value. I think, depending on who's out for Houston, if Christian Wood and or Tate sit, I'll definitely be looking to Şengün, to KJ Martin. If those guys are out and they're both guys you can go to for value. And then, there's some other cheap options. Let's see, like, Brandon Williams, I think, is definitely in play now that Simons is out. If you want to go back to him, he would probably, regardless of game script, I think Brandon Williams would play even in a blowout. So I don't mind going there, even though Portland probably gets the shit beat out of them tonight. But definitely like those Rockets guys, Damian Jones, Marvin Bagley, I like for value. That's kind of where I'm looking to for value, at least right now. Rozier, Cade, or Jaylen Brown? I would go Jaylen Brown there. I'd go Jaylen Brown. Is Trey Lyles viable? I think without Sabonis, Trey Lyles is viable, but man, like, I'm not confident in his minutes because, like, he's been starting lately, but his minutes, like, haven't even been that good. Let me take a look at his game log. Like, over the last, like, 5 games, I mean, 17, 18, 20, 20, like, his minutes have been way down. Obviously, you would think he probably plays more here with Sabonis out, but I don't think it's a guarantee. I think they could just let Damian Jones get a lot of minutes. But Trey Lyles should be really low owned, so if you want to go there in tournaments, like, that's fine. Dorian Finney-Smith or Trenton Watford? Give me Watford, assuming that Watford starts again. If Watford doesn't start, then I'd probably go to DFS, but that's close. How many minutes does LeBron get, you think? I would expect LeBron to play full minutes as long as the game's close, which against Houston, I mean, Houston's really bad, but so are the Lakers, so I would think LeBron plays his normal minutes if it's a close game. You like CJ as a pay-up option tonight? I definitely do. With Brandon Ingram out again, I think CJ is a really good option. We saw what he did yesterday without Ingram. Wouldn't be surprised if he has another big game tonight. Also, Marvin Bagley. I think Marvin Bagley's a good play for sure. Without Isaiah Stewart, I'm expecting Bagley to start at center. We haven't gotten the Pistons starting lineup yet. That will be something to keep an eye on, but I'm expecting Bagley to start. If he does, we know Bagley's a good point per minute player. He's only 5K. He would probably play 30 to 32 minutes if he starts. Good matchup against the Bulls, who have been tailing defensively, so definitely think Bagley's a good play. I'm tearing my hair out between Middleton or Brown for 8K. Feel like Bucks goes to OT for some reason. Brown always kills it when I leave him out. I mean, straight up between Middleton or Jaylen Brown, I'd rather play Jaylen Brown, but that's just my opinion. It's your lineup, man. You can make the decision for yourself. But if it was my lineup, I would be taking Jaylen Brown over Middleton. Bam or Levine? I would take Bam there. Harrison Barnes or Bogdanovich? Give me Harrison Barnes. I'm assuming that's Harrison Barnes and not Scotty Barnes. But I'd probably take Scotty Barnes too over Bogdanovich, whichever one it is. Julius Randle, De'Aaron Fox. Give me De'Aaron Fox. You like Herbert Jones? I think Herbert Jones is a fine option. Without Brandon Ingram, I think there will be more opportunity for Herbert Jones. he wasn't great yesterday, even with Ingram out. But again, it was a blowout. I think today's game against Orlando should stay close. We should get mid-high 30s minutes from Herb Jones. He's been a very tough player to get right this season. Like, he'll have these random games where he puts up like 35 DK points, and then he'll have games where he puts up like 15. But I definitely think there's more opportunity for him without Brandon Ingram. So, yeah, 4,500, I think Herb Jones is firmly in play. Thoughts on Devontae Graham? I don't hate going back to Devontae Graham with Brandon Ingram out again. I know Devontae Graham, he played really well in the first half. I don't think he really did much in the second half last night. But he did have a really good first half. He played 24 minutes. I want to say, I'm pretty sure he lost minutes as well because of the blowout. I don't think he played in the blowout. So Devontae Graham probably gets like 25 to 30 minutes off the bench. Should be more usage available without Ingram. Yeah, I think Devontae Graham is firmly in play if you want to go to him as a value. What do you think, Brandon Williams or Cameron Payne? I would probably go Cameron Payne. Devin Booker is playing today, which I think does hurt Cameron Payne a little bit. But I still expect Cameron Payne to start. I still expect Cameron Payne to play big minutes. I think he will get some minutes without Devin Booker on the floor. They'll stagger those two guys. Even 35 minutes from Cameron Payne with Devin Booker in, like that, he can still put up 40 DraftKings points. So yeah, I'd take Cameron Payne straight up over Williams. Prioritize CJ, Fox, and SGA. Oh, Matt, that's really close. I mean, I think all three of those guys are pretty good plays. I do worry about blowout for Shea. I always worry about blowout when it comes to OKC. So I would probably prioritize them in that order: CJ, Fox, SGA. But man, like all three of those guys, I think are solid. Thoughts on Nwora? We'll have to wait and see what the Bucks starting lineup is. Nwora did start yesterday with Grayson Allen out. If he starts again, I don't think he will because Grayson Allen is back. So with Grayson Allen back, I'm expecting Grayson Allen to start. But if they go with Nwora as a starter again, then yeah, Nwora is going to be a viable, cheap option. But I think Nwora probably won't play as many minutes as he played yesterday with Grayson Allen back, which probably takes me off him for today. What about Keon Johnson for value? Not for me. I mean, I know he's been starting lately, but God, he's just a really low usage player. He's a guy that doesn't offer much upside. I don't know if he would play in a blowout or not. I can't really tell you. I can't remember if he played in the blowout last game or not. I don't really like Keon Johnson. I mean, on a 12-game slate, that's not a guy that I really want to play. Thoughts on Bergson quickly? I mean, the Knicks are not a team I'm super high on today. I know they're going to be missing some guys, like, Cam Reddish is out. Who else is out? Like, Mitchell Robinson's questionable. But it's a really slow-paced game. It's one of the lowest totals on the slate. Like, I just really don't want to be rostering a bunch of Knicks. And I definitely wouldn't want to play those guys in the same lineup. So, I know Quickly's been playing really well lately. But what's his price at now? Like, his price is, I mean, it's 5K. I mean, over 5K. If Quickly puts up a good score for over 5K, then so be it. But yeah, I'm not super high on the Knicks in general. Giannis or LeBron? I would probably say Giannis, but that's definitely close. I think LeBron's in a great spot. Giannis has kind of struggled against the Hawks this year. But, I mean, man, like anytime Giannis is on the slate, he's always a top option. So I guess give me LeBron, or give me a Giannis over LeBron, but that's close. Any major news I missed? I mean, if you haven't been keeping up, Jimmy Butler's out, which is kind of big. Sabonis got suspended, so he's going to be out. That's really big. And then we're still waiting on some news from Houston we'll have to keep an eye on. Hopefully we get that during the stream. But that's all the big news so far, I guess. Who starts in place of Ingram? Yesterday they started Tony Snell, so I'm guessing Tony Snell starts again. I would not play Tony Snell, though, in DFS. I mean, what did Tony Snell finish with yesterday? I don't even know. I'm guessing like 5 DraftKings points. Oh, 8 DraftKings points. A little bit more than I expected. 22 minutes from Tony Snell in a start yesterday, 8 DraftKings points. Sounds about right. Poku or Dorian Finney-Smith? I would take Poku there. I would take Poku. Okay, we just got Timberwolves news. Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell available to play. Patrick Beverley and Jared Vanderbilt are out. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So Anthony Edwards and D'Angelo Russell are both in. Patrick Beverley and Jared Vanderbilt are both out. So we'll have to see how that affects the starting lineup. Obviously, Vanderbilt and Beverley are both starters. I'm guessing, I'm guessing like McDaniels will start in place of Vanderbilt, and then maybe they start Malik Beasley. Yeah, Malik Beasley's usage with Edwards in and with Russell in probably wouldn't be super good, but I mean, if Malik Beasley starts, he's going to be playable. That's kind of interesting. 2 starters will be out for Minnesota, so we'll have to wait and see what their starting lineup looks like. Steven, I see you said McDaniels is out. Yeah, that's his brother, Jalen McDaniels. I think Jalen McDaniels is on the Hornets, and he is out. That's correct. Jaden McDaniels. Yeah. You got it. I had to think about that, too, because I remember seeing on Twitter, some McDaniels was ruled out. I just couldn't remember which one it was. I had to think for myself. 7,800 left at util. Who would you take? 7,800 at util. Let's see. Maybe Rudy Gobert. I really worry about blowout in that game, but my God, Gobert should be able to feast against Drew Eubanks and Watford and whoever else they throw on him. So maybe Gobert. If you're worried about blowout, you can maybe go to like J-Val or Time Lord. I like Time Lord's matchup a lot against Charlotte. But I guess go with Gobert. As long as the game stays close, I think Gobert should do pretty well. Rozier or Jaylen Brown? I prefer Jaylen Brown. Thoughts on Malik Beasley? I mean, I think now that Beverly and McDaniels are out, or not McDaniels, but Beverly and Vanderbilt are out, we might see Malik Beasley start. If he does, he'll be playable. But I would definitely temper my expectations because with D'Angelo Russell back, with Anthony Edwards back, those 2 guys are going to soak up a lot of usage. So at that point, Malik Beasley's like the 4th option. But if he starts, he'll be playable. Utility for 8,800. Let's see. Utility 8,800, I mean, probably Bam. Yeah, definitely Bam. If you don't have Bam already, I would say Bam. Okay, Christian Wood and Jae'Sean Tate out on Wednesday. Dennis Schroeder a game time decision. So that's pretty big. No Christian Wood, no Jae'Sean Tate. Obviously, I'm expecting Şengün to start again. I really like Şengün. I already made him a core play. I was expecting Wood to be out, so that's, I'm not going to change anything there. And I think they might start KJ Martin. If KJ Martin starts, I really like KJ Martin because he's been a good point per minute player. We've seen the Rockets play him big minutes. Like, even if by some chance this turns into a blowout, I think KJ Martin would still play in a blowout. So would Şengün. So I feel really good about both KJ Martin and Şengün. I think both those guys are really good plays now with Wood and Tate out. I mean, how many available players do the Rockets even have? Let me look at last game. Because obviously Wood was out last game, but Tate played. I want to see how many guys they played. So they ran a 12-man rotation, they ran an 11-man rotation, but Fernando and Queen played 3 minutes each. So they basically just played like the final garbage minutes. I mean, yeah, we might see, as long as the Lakers or as long as this game stays close, we might see a tight rotation from Houston. Like, I don't know how many minutes they really want to play Bruno Fernando or, I don't think David Nwaba played much last game. He played like 12 or 13 minutes, yeah. I think we get big minutes from KJ Martin. I like him a lot. 4K. And Şengün for that matter. Trey Lyles or Damian Jones? Definitely give me Damian Jones, assuming he starts. You like Caleb Martin as a value? We'll have to see who starts for Jimmy. If Caleb Martin starts, I'm guessing he's really cheap. Let me see. I mean, yeah, it's 3,900. Like, if Caleb Martin starts, he'll be an okay value. But, man, like, playing alongside Hero and Lowry and Bam, it's going to be really hard for Caleb Martin to produce at a good rate. Like, Caleb Martin has had some good games this year. But, like, a lot of these games have been when a lot of guys have been out. I really expect, like, Bam, Lowry, Hero to soak up a lot of the usage. So, even if Caleb Martin starts, like, I don't know how productive he's going to be. But the minutes, you would think, will probably be there. 3,500 at small forward. 3,500 at small forward. I mean, I guess with Tate and Wood out, you could go to Garrison Matthews. I mean, I hate playing Garrison Matthews, but that might be your best bet. That cheap. Yeah, that might be your best bet, honestly. $21 util on Yahoo. Let's take a look. I think Cameron Payne's $20, so I'll probably say Cameron Payne if you don't have him already. Yeah, I would say Cameron Payne for $20 if you don't have him already. Baller Rozier. I'd say Rozier, but that's really close. Bam or Drew? Give me Bam for sure. Shamit, Bullock, or THT. I mean, with LeBron playing, I don't really have any interest in THT. With Devin Booker back, I don't really have any interest in Landry Shamit. So, God, I mean, I guess Bullock, but those 3 guys I'm not super high on. Trey Lyles over 19 with no Sabonis. What is that? Is that his fantasy projection? I mean, I'm just not confident that Trey Lyles gets the minutes. Like, I don't think they really care to play Trey Lyles a lot of minutes. Like, he started a few games and played like 20 minutes. And the projections I look at have Trey Lyles projected for 20 minutes. So, yeah, I don't feel good about that one. I don't think I'd bet that personally. I mean, I'd lean over if I had to pick a side, but I don't feel good about that one. Barrett or Rozier on DK? I would say Rozier. Payne or Westbrook, hoping he wakes up against Houston. I mean, with LeBron playing, I think I'd honestly rather go with Cameron Payne. I was on Westbrook last slate with LeBron out, and obviously Westbrook was terrible. Today will be the day that Westbrook probably has a good game because I'm not going to play him, but I would still take Cameron Payne there. McCollum or Fox? We talked about those two earlier. I think both are really good plays. I would side with CJ McCollum, though. You like Thompson if Vooch is out? I think Thompson would be playable, but I do question the upside for Tristan Thompson. He's not a great point per minute player. You're going to need like a double-double from him to get there. And he almost had a double-double last game. He's got power forward and center eligibility on DraftKings, so that makes him a little bit more appealing, and he's still somewhat cheap. But like Tristan Thompson, I feel like he's one of those guys that, man, it's really hard for him to put up a score that, like, if you don't play Tristan Thompson, you're drawing dead. Like, I'd be really surprised if Tristan Thompson put up like 35 DraftKings points. But yeah, if Vooch sits, he'll be an option. Mitchell Robinson's out. What do you think about Randall? I mean, it'd probably be a small boost for Randall. I don't know if it would impact his role too much. If anything, Mitchell Robinson being out is just gonna, give more minutes to Taj Gibson and Jericho Sims, which I don't think either one of them I'd be playing on this slate. 8,200 at small forward. 8,200 at small forward. I'd say Jaylen Brown if you don't have him already. You have any player for 3,800? I mean, I'm sure there's someone down here we can play. If you could get up to KJ Martin at 4K, I like a lot. If you could get to him, but if you can't get there, I mean, I guess if Jalen Suggs is out again, you could go with RJ Hampton. The RJ Hampton experience has not been fun the last 2 slates, but he's been starting in place of Suggs. He probably would play even more without Fultz, so I guess I'd say RJ Hampton if Suggs is out again. I think we're still waiting for news on Suggs. Best shooting guard, $11 or under on Yahoo. Oh, man, I don't know if there's any. Probably your best bet for a cheap shooting guard is probably Dante DiVincenzo, or maybe Malik Beasley if he starts. But like DiVincenzo, I don't mind. I mean, his minutes have been pretty secure with Sacramento. And I think Jeremy Lamb is still out, if I remember correctly, or he's questionable. So like if Jeremy Lamb remains out, I'd feel better about DiVincenzo. He's probably your best bet for a shooting guard that cheap. You still like KPJ with the other Houston value? I think you could still play KPJ for sure. It's a really good matchup. It's a fast-paced game. No Christian Wood. It's just more usage available for KPJ. So yeah, I definitely like him. And if you wanted to play him with Şengün or KJ Martin, I mean, you could do that for sure. Campaign or Şengün? I'd say Campaign if you have a salary. I'd say Campaign, but I like both. Utility for 5K or under? Well, if you could find $100, I'd want to get to Şengün for 5,100. But for 5K and under, I mean, Bagley at 5K I like a lot if you don't have Bagley already. Beasley and Tatum or Payne and Bam? Give me Payne and Bam. Small forward for 5,900 and under. Let's see here. Probably Poku, I would say. OKC, they're still missing a lot of guys. I mean, Trey Mann's out today. Lou Dort, Giddey are still out. Williams still out. Ty Jerome's still out. Poku, he'll play in a blowout, so I would probably say Poku. I don't love a ton from OKC, but I think SGA, if the game can stay close, is a fine option. I just worry about blowout for him. But Poku would probably play in a blowout regardless. So honestly, I think I'd go with him. Herb Jones and Poku, or Hunter and Porter. Or Hunter Porter or Hunter Payne. Give me Herb Jones and Poku. Lindy Waters punt play. I don't think I'd go there. I know he's been getting more minutes lately. He's been playing well, but you know, maybe if the game blows out, I could see him getting there. He's 3K. But it's another guy that, like, on a 12-game slate, man, do I really want to be playing Lindy freaking Waters? I don't think so. You like any of the Bulls tonight against Detroit? It's going to depend on Vooch's status. If Vooch plays, there's not much I like on the Bulls. If Vooch is out, then yeah, Tristan Thompson would be viable, and obviously Levine and DeRozan would get a little boost too. How about Hunter for small forward? DeAndre Hunter? God, he's just a guy that I don't really ever play. I mean, his minutes will always be there, but he's not a very productive player, and he could play 38 minutes and score like 22 DraftKings points. You know, this game sets up as one of the better games to target. It's a fast-paced, high-scoring game. It's got a really high total, but I think for almost 5K, I'm not super interested in DeAndre Hunter. Who you like best between Şengün, Martin, Nwora? Definitely Şengün. Şengün or Bagley? That's a close one. I like both a lot. I'd still say Bagley, but that's definitely close. DiVincenzo or Monk? On Yahoo, I would go with Monk if you can fit him. 5,700 at shooting guard. I think Monk's 5,700, so I'd probably take him. Yeah, he's 5,700. Why no Jalen Green? I mean, Jalen Green's a guy that I haven't been on much this season. His usage, like, it's been fine. He hasn't been super productive. My dog is barking right now. Sorry if you can hear that. My dog is barking right now. I think there's somebody else at my door. But like I was saying, like Jalen Green, I mean, he's not a guy that... He's been better lately, but he hasn't been on the season. He's just been so inconsistent. Like, he'll have good games, then he'll have, like, mediocre games. The matchup's really good, but for almost 6K, like, I'm not super interested in Jalen Green. I'd probably rather go to, like, KPJ if you could fit KPJ in. Hey, stop. All right, we're gonna answer a few more questions, and we're gonna hop out of here. The barks, dude. I don't know what he's doing. He usually never barks on stream, but there's somebody outside my door, like walking outside my apartment, and I guess he heard him. He scared him. I'm gonna answer a few more questions, and we're gonna hop out of here before my dog goes nuts. LeBron or Giannis? We answered that earlier. I'd say Giannis. Top spin up. I mean, if you can fit Jokic, I think Jokic is my favorite spin up. Anyone benefit from Covington being out? Maybe a few more minutes for like Batum, Amir Coffey, but God, the Clippers are a team I'm so done playing Clippers, man. I hate that fucking team. They're like my least favorite team in the league. Cade or Jaylen Brown? I prefer Jaylen Brown. Favorite pay-up option on the entire slate? I would say Jokic. If you can fit Jokic, I think Jokic is my favorite pay-up option. Love the matchup too against Sacramento, especially without Sabonis. But all right, guys, I'm out of here. I wish you guys the best of luck tonight. I hope you guys enjoy the stream. Hopefully, I was able to answer all your questions. Again, we'll be live tomorrow. We'll be back an hour before lock. I think we only have a 2-game slate tomorrow, so just a 2-game slate. Won't be a ton to talk about, but we'll still be streaming, still be live, answering any questions you have. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Best of luck, and hopefully we can all win some money tonight. Peace out, fellas.